For me, when I was young, I was fascinated by the mysteries of life. I knew there was more than a 9 to 5 existence. When I was around 5 years old, my Uncle Bill took my brother and I to a Bob's Big Boy for a shake. At that time, they had these paper masks with a Martian say, "Take me to your leader." My brother and I placed these masks over our faces and started to laugh and laugh. We knew that we were from the stars. My uncle had no idea why we were laughing. How did we know that we came from the stars? Most people would say it was your childhood imagination, yet you really can't really explain it. How to explain the power of love? Where does it come from? Does our DNA contain parts of us that are eternal? Does our DNA contain the essence of God? Scientists say that 90% of our DNA is junk DNA. Does God create junk? I don't think so. According to Cryon, he says the junk DNA is actually multidimensional DNA. In other words, our DNA is part physical and spiritual. We don't have any instruments on Earth to prove this. Yet, Bruce Lipton from Stanford says that through his research that they have discovered the following. Your DNA may have the propensity for a certain disease, yet with lifestyle changes and by the mind being in a state of being that is spiritual, you can overcome your propensity to get the disease. You can, in an essence, program yourself out of this problem. Can you imagine if a part of your DNA contains your higher self? That means you're hardwired to discover God inside of you. A part of you exists in the cosmic soup of God, and a part of you exists on this planet. For ages, the great masters have said that the kingdom of heaven lies within. Maybe we have all the tools inside of us. We have been looking in all the wrong places. For example, imagine only a short time ago, we thought that the world was flat. We thought by sailing deep into the ocean, there would be a point where the ship would fall off the face of the earth. This is only about 600 years ago. Yet Christopher Columbus sailed to the Americas and debunked that theory. Now, imagine the Mayans and other indigenous cultures. They developed several calendars, that the calendar cycle was around 24,000 years. They had around 10 different calendars that they used to calculate different cycles of time. They have from 1 day to 64 million years. How did they get this information? The Mayans had this knowledge around the 5th century BC. That is around 1,000 years before Christopher Columbus discovered America. How did they get this knowledge? They didn't have knowledge. They didn't have computers or modern day telescopes. Could their knowledge come from within? I certainly think so. The universe within is a microcosm of the universe outside of us. They had the ability to tap into the source. You are the universe. They understood that principle and had a direct realization of that. They knew about entanglement and the universal field. Scientists are just beginning to focus and understand these laws. Yet they had this knowledge 2,500 years ago. Many of the indigenous people all around the world had this knowledge. They knew they came from the stars. Westerners would laugh at them and say how cute that is. Imagine if a scientist would discover their true nature and work with his scientific nature. Imagine how far we can go. We have satellites that go around 16,000 miles per hour. Imagine if we can go 186,000 miles per second, it would take 2 years to reach the closest star. What if man could go within and use the field and go anywhere in the universe in less than a second? Imagine if a civilization has been around for 16 billion years. How advanced do you think they would be? Imagine they had the same problems that we had: war, poverty, crime, etc. They learned over time to advance themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. They reached a point where the entire civilization became the universe. At this point in time in evolution, they decided to help another planet achieve the same. This cycle would occur over and over again. Sometimes it would not work out. The people might have a great war and destroy the planet. When the planet was mature enough, they would then go to another planet and start anew. This sounds like science fiction, yet you are eternal. You were never created, and you will never die. Your body will. So think this over. Maybe our planet was created as a great experiment. Maybe our DNA came from the stars. We are stardust, as Carl Sagan once said. Let's put it this way: life is a mystery. Many people think that living a spiritual life, it must be boring. You just sit around and meditate. What a boring thing to do. Yet, a spiritual life is exquisite. I've been all around the world. I've surfed waves as high as a 2-story building. I hitchhiked from France to India with my surfboard. I hitchhiked from Kenya to South Africa, been to South America and the Galapagos Islands. You see, a spiritual life is practical. It is a life that truly is meant to bring you secrets of the universe while you are alive. Before you came to Earth, you are the universe. When you die, you become the universe. Wouldn't you like to know that you aren't alone when you are alive? Wouldn't you like to know that there is a family out there? The kingdom inside is your true home. It will transform your character. It will over time make you kind, patient, and full of tolerance, love, and compassion. This is your true nature. You will transform from darkness into light. It takes work, but what rewards come your way? You can be in the center of the hurricane. The whirlwind of the mind may be there. Calmness resides inside. Over time, a spiritual person loves each and every moment. You love going to work. You put your heart and soul into your actions. Nobody knows your beliefs. You just blend in. You have nothing to prove. You are stable in your emotions. A person learns to stop, look, and listen instead of reacting automatically. The universe slowly begins to train you in its ways. The universe is kind. The universe is love. The universe is patient. The universe is compassion. The universe is alive. A human being has the opportunity to become these traits. All the great masters have said, the kingdom of heaven lies within you. Remember, you are eternal. You were never born, and you will never die. The game of life is discovering your true nature while you are alive. We search for God outside our entire life. He has been hidden inside the entire time. The most obvious place a person should look, a person looks outside for the answer. Isn't that fascinating? Maybe the whole universe is a game. It was created so we would find God within ourselves. What an elaborate setup it is. The entire universe is a stage, and we are actors on the stage. We come down to earth to discover our true nature. So for many, we are oblivious to this. We leave our lives. Now, I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling my side of the story. The truth needs no convincing. When you die, you will see that God doesn't judge. This life is a learning experience. Imagine a raindrop with this journey of returning to the ocean. In the same manner, we are traveling back to the ocean of life. Enjoy this journey. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your family and friends. Call them on the phone. Find out what truly has meaning in your life. Most of all, you are never alone. The universe is watching over you. Greetings. Welcome to a brand new day. On Monday of this week, I had a job interview. They asked a very interesting question. Who inspires you? I said, the Dalai Lama. I love that he said, kindness is my religion. I told him the world needs kindness. He goes all around the world and gives kindness wherever he goes. I told him that I'm inspired by people who are kind to each other. I love random acts of kindness. My wife and I love Fridays on CBS News, where they have a section called On the Road with Steve Hartman. It's my favorite section of the news. Steve finds these incredible people who are kind to one another. Some may do random acts of kindness. It's very touching. It demonstrates to me the essence of being a human being. Each story is different, yet there is a thread of love tying us all together. I love even seeing the news host, Scott Pelley, hold back tears. It's nice to see a newsman combine his mind and heart together. It's quite rare to see. I feel kindness is the answer to the world's problems. Humanity has been spewing anger for thousands of years, yet it never solves any problem. Look at Facebook today. Anger is just putting fuel on the fire. Kindness extinguishes the fire. It totally transforms it. These are basic principles we need to bring back into our lives. Your family, friends, community, state, nation, and the world at large would rejoice if we all did that. Kindness is not a Pollyanna state of mind. Kindness takes the greatest strength you can muster. It is so easy to get angry. Anybody can do it. Yet, to be kind in diversity, that takes strength. You have to cultivate that. You must plant the seeds of kindness in your heart. Daily, you must weed your garden, take out the negative weeds, water the seed, and watch it grow. If we all did this, the world would be in a better place. Anger equals gasoline on fire. Kindness equals putting out the fire. The definition of a mystic is the following: a person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truths that are beyond the intellect. Many moons ago, I heard about the world of a mystic or yogi. I was quite fascinated by it. What were they experiencing? How did they tap into this experience? Is this for a privileged few? How come everyone doesn't know about this? Do you have to give up your life, move into an ashram? I like my life. Can I become a mystic and still carry on with my life? These are the questions I ask myself. Fast forward 46 years. Wow, what an adventure life is. I learned that anyone can learn to go inside and discover their true nature. It's not for a privileged few. In fact, we are hardwired for this experience. We were designed for this experience. Somehow along the way, we have forgotten. No, you don't have to give up anything in your life except for a few things. You must learn to give up anger, greed, war, intolerance, lack of patience, gossip, and all your negative emotions. Don't you think it's wise to take out the trash every once in a while? We have tons of internal housekeeping to do. At times it's difficult and painful for a human being to change. We have a tendency to hold on for dear life, yet we are carrying a huge boulder on our back. Maybe the great mystics were right. Maybe their path was to demonstrate or show that we can throw away our garbage. We don't have to change or walk away from our lives. And a matter of fact, we need to embrace life. The universe is kind. We need to cultivate kindness in our life. We need to plant the seeds of kindness and water them every day. A farmer tills the soil and takes out the weeds. We need to do the same thing. We need to be aware of our actions. Humanity needs to plant the seeds of love, compassion, tolerance, patience, and so much more. Follow the steps of planting the seeds of kindness. Guess what? Over time, you will become a mystic. Every day, watch your breath, moment by moment. Pay attention to it. Focus on it. Try to do this 24 hours a day. It will take time. At first, it will be extremely difficult. Just relax. When you're driving, turn off the music. Put down the cell phone. Pay attention to the road and follow your breath. It's that easy. Over time, you will experience that there's something behind your breath that is keeping you alive. A sense of peace, compassion, love, and bliss will arise. Learn to love to close your eyes and watch your breath go up and down. Learn to be relaxed and focused at the same time. Too much relaxation, you will fall asleep. Too much focus is like trying to break down a door. The door will open on its own time and terms. Just love the opportunity to sit there and discover your true nature. This is not a race. Be patient with yourself. Over time, this world will merge into yours. You can simply close your eyes and you will be filled with love and compassion. Still, every day we take baby steps. We will never truly say, I have learned everything about our true nature. We will always be infants. Even if you meditate for over 1 billion years, we will still be infants. Remember, We are never born and we never die. So this life is quite the adventure. What we learn from inside, we can take the experience outside. We learn to be kind in the midst of anger. We learn to be compassionate on Facebook. We learn to have patience and tolerance towards others. We can see the thread of love tying us all together. This life that we are given is truly becoming the best that we can handle in all areas of life. This practice enables us to see beyond the box. We can be open to so much more than our limited beliefs and ideas. The universe wants you to discover who you truly are. The universe wants you to reach for the stars. This is the life of a mystic. This is your true nature. Discover who you truly are. Does the universe stop and pay attention to us? Or do we stop and pay attention to the universe? Does the universe help us on our journey of life? Can the universe be our coach in teaching us about the mysteries of life? Is it true, the more you pay attention to the universe, you will see signposts everywhere? Is the universe gently showing us the way? Look over in this direction. Is life like a video game where you go from one level to another level? Does life throw curveballs so you can ultimately hit a home run out of the park? When we strike out, do we think we failed, or do we see the opportunity to learn and grow? Recently, when I meditate, I have a sense of being coached. For the past month or so on a daily basis, when I dream and wander, and I'm at a point when I'm in the dream, all of a sudden I get pulled from the dream and back into the light. I feel the universe is saying, everything comes from light. I read the autobiography of a yogi many moons ago. One of my favorite passages is when he describes going to a movie theater. The entire audience is totally captivated by the movie. It becomes real. Yet how many people turn around and realize that a projector is streaming light upon the screen? The wise masters have been talking about this for eons. How do we tune the guitar of life? Has the entire universe always been inside of us and we haven't been aware? Does the perfect wave exist inside of us? These are exciting times for us. In the midst of Trump and politics, the universe is beckoning us to discover our true nature. We are the universe and just don't know it. Our civilization is quite young, probably less than 200,000 years. Most scientists say probably less than 34,000 years. I'll tack on a few years. Yet imagine there are probably civilizations that are over 5 billion years old. Imagine they reached a point in evolution where they had a choice to blow themselves up or evolve to a state where they became the universe. War becomes obsolete. The universe is kind. The universe is supreme love. The universe is compassion. The universe is aware. Is the human body hardwired for the experience? Are we created in God's image? Quite frankly, I believe the universe is always evolving. Can you imagine the joy of the universe when an entire civilization becomes the universe? Granted, it takes a long time. Some say 1,000,000 years. But if you are never created or never destroyed, what is 1,000,000 years? A blink of an eye. Are we here on Earth as individuals to grow and evolve? Have the great teachers in the past been representatives of the universe to show us the way? They can coach us on the sidelines, but remember, only you can play the game. What will cause humankind to wake up from our slumber and discover we are the universe?
How to use the quantum field. Let's look at this common scenario. It's Monday morning. Your alarm clock didn't go off. You're late for work. You stumble out of bed and take a quick shower. You don't have time to go to Starbucks for your morning coffee. You're totally stressed out. You're in a huge traffic jam. You missed a very important meeting. Once again, you get totally stressed out. Things don't go quite as planned. Without your morning coffee, you are on edge. You don't think properly. And you're in a funky mood. Imagine how many Americans this happens to every Monday morning. Did you know that the majority of heart attacks occur on Monday morning? Did you know that the majority of Americans hate their jobs? Let's take a look at the biological aspects of what's occurring. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you are running the same tapes over and over again. Did you know that your subconscious is running the show? Scientists say that 95% of our actions are driven by our subconscious. Only 5% is conscious. Imagine your body and mind is fused together. Scientists say they are almost one and the same. You can't separate the one from the other. We are playing old tapes. A day like today is not uncommon for most Americans. When you wake up and realize you're late for work, your mind-body connection is totally stressed. You think, oh my God, I'm late for work. My boss is going to get pissed off. Just the mere thought of being late, over 1,500 stress chemicals are being released into your body. This is how you set your day. Automatically, you can't think properly, and you're in a negative emotional state. This state carries you throughout the day. You come back from work, and your lovely wife says something to you. You snap back automatically, and a huge argument occurs. Mind you, it doesn't have anything to do with your wife. You can't control your state of mind and emotions. Multiply this by 300 million Americans, and this is our current state of awareness in our country today. You see, we were never taught about this in school, the mind-body connection. We were never taught that all our thoughts would either make us sick or make us healthy. We have no idea that our way of thinking leads to our diseases today. Did you know that the majority of diseases aren't caused by your genetic makeup? Most people think they are. Yet scientists say only 2% of diseases are caused by your genetics. The rest is caused by your environment. It's caused by stress. It's living day by day in a life of stress. Imagine you may be a super athlete and try to take care of your body. You do everything external to the T. Yet, if you aren't aware of your thoughts and change them, your life is still in constant stress. I wrote an article called Your Body is a Drugstore. Read that to get a better understanding on this. Imagine we have thousands of consultants who will give you advice on how to improve your life, yet how many of them go back to the mind-body connection of how your thoughts trigger powerful chemicals. As I said, these chemicals will ultimately lead to disease. Not only that, but your emotional state is being driven by your thoughts. It's a classic circle of running the same tapes over and over again. The whole world is living in this state. We've been living like this for thousands of years. We are reactive beings. React in every situation, either positive or negative. What is the solution to this? We will discuss this next. How to use the quantum field. 2. What is the solution? In my last talk, I wrote about our current conditions. For the average person, it might seem normal. What is the solution? This is the current state of affairs. I can't do anything about it. We are saying, yes, you can. What is the future for humanity? Did you know that disease can't live in the quantum field? Did you know that man will evolve into being a creature filled with light and have a physical body? Imagine the universe's vast storehouse of chemicals exists inside. It can't be released until one starts changing their thoughts and actions. Negative emotions are obsolete. They have not served us in any way. We have fought for thousands of years. We still continue to fight. Without genuine kindness for all, the world will continue into this downward spiral. Your mind and body is one. As you know that for every negative thought you have, over 1,500 different chemicals gets released into your bloodstream. Did you know that for every positive thought you have, over 1,500 positive chemicals gets released into your bloodstream? By being aware of the quantum field in your daily life, one begins to transform and change. We are on the cutting edge of transformation. Did you know the human body is wired to live for 900 years? You may scoff at that and say, that's ridiculous. Yet some trees live to be around 3,000 years. The majority of humanity is living in intense stress. The majority die way before they are wired for. I have a friend who said he will die when I'm 88 years old. He will die when he is 88 years old. Imagine, we have no idea of the power of the mind. We think we are helpless and disease just manifests out of the blue. Yet we create our own diseases by our lifestyle, thoughts, and actions. We are oblivious to playing the same tapes over and over. Baby steps are needed. 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. This is how humanity and the universe learns. This is the learning experience. The entire universe takes baby steps. Yes, there are certain events which seem to occur in seconds. Look at a volcano blowing. It seems like it just explodes, but it might have been simmering for hundreds of years. What has this got to do with me? Everything. Imagine you are hardwired for this experience. The car is sitting in your garage gathering dust. It was meant for you to drive down the freeway of life. Yet the majority of people don't even know that the car exists inside. We have been raised to only focus on the external. Society says only the artists, musicians, and mystics dive deep into their hearts. They were born that way. Yet we all have that capability. We are skimming the surface on the ocean of life and think, that is reality. The mystics have said there's an infinite ocean that lies inside of you. They didn't have the name quantum field during their days, yet it's all one and the same. Can you imagine a world where mankind is truly kind to each other? We could easily solve the world's problems. How would you like a world where negative thoughts and emotions don't exist? Yes, you may laugh. Imagine there are civilizations that went through the same path of going from darkness to light. No civilizations get a free ride, yet they truly transform. They went from war to a state of living in the quantum field. This is our destination. Look, it's not going to happen overnight. Many people say it takes over 1 million years. Fortunately, millions of people are waking up from their slumber. Our life is about to change in ways that we can't even conceive. Many incredible scientific discoveries will come along the way. The more the world embraces the quantum world, there are an infinite amount of discoveries to come. You see, humanity is like a tuning fork. It vibrates at the frequency of human consciousness. We have been in a state of darkness and chaos for thousands of years. This is about to change. Personal empowerment is gaining momentum. When people understand the principles that they can change, and then science helps humanity to take practical steps to change. For example, I truly didn't understand that thoughts produce chemicals directly into the bloodstream. Just this one discovery alone changed my life. Mind you, I've been meditating for many moons. I really didn't pay attention to my thoughts, yet now I try to monitor my thoughts, which leads to monitor my emotions, which leads to monitor my actions. This is quite different from people who tweet which comes to their mind. Here are some simple steps which have helped me. Try to meditate every day. Even if it's 5 minutes, just follow your breath. I know it sounds too simple. Focus on your breath during your daily activities. Why? Just do it for a year and then you tell me. Monitor your words that you speak. If it is not kind, don't say it. Pay attention towards your heart. Have gratitude that you are alive. The heart contains the incredible emotions of love, kindness, mercy, and compassion. This is your true state. I could go on for a long time about the heart. Look at the various research on heart coherence. Just this alone blows my mind. Learn how to be aware of the negative emotions that are stored into your body. There are many different techniques out there. Find out which matches your needs. You can learn how to reprogram your old tapes. Read the latest fusion between science and mystics, who will bring you to their understanding. This is a practical path. Learn to be in harmony with nature. Look at the 4 seasons for an example. Nature can truly teach us if we ask. Your ancestors are always there. They have never left you. As I read about a week ago, they just moved into the next room, into the mansion of life. As we get older, you might understand how this would help us grieve in a healthy way. We might even learn how to knock on their door. You see, the quantum field contains all. Get enough sleep. Your body truly needs sleep to repair itself. Scientists have found that athletes who get extra sleep recover much quicker and are less prone to injuries. The less sleep you get, the more prone to injuries. This even goes with us everyday folks. Your body and mind is your friend. Treat it that way. Many of the world's diseases could have been prevented. Mankind lives mostly from old tapes. Learn to reprogram yourself. I've been a software engineer for over 35 years. I've learned to reprogram myself for many years. Health is your greatest wealth. If you are a billionaire and you are sick, you can't quite enjoy it. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. Remember, God is your co-pilot. He will not drive your car for you. It's only by your will, yet God is there to help you on this journey in life. Only you can open the inner car door. Be kind to yourself. Laugh at life. We all make daily mistakes. Learn from them. Some mistakes may take thousands of tries. Just laugh if you fall to the ground. Dust yourself off and stand up and continue along on your journey. Life will always throw us curveballs. Someday we will be able to hit the ball out of the park. We will then proceed to the next video game level. You see, we are always in a state of evolving. Be kind to the world around you. Smile and be considerate of others. Listen from your heart for those who are in pain. I mean, truly listen. Don't think, what am I going to say next? When you pray to God, does He think, what am I going to say? Or does He truly listen? Learn how to cultivate to become the mind of God. Mind you, in this present moment, that might seem outlandish, yet try to think like God. Monitor your thoughts to be in alignment with God. God truly thinks outside of the box. Learn how to cultivate to become the heart of God. Same thing, this sounds outlandish. Even if you gathered one drop from the heart of God, your life will totally transform. Remember, what you pay attention to, what becomes. This is a practical path. You don't have to renounce anything. Well, maybe. You just let go of the garbage that's weighing you down. So take these ideas. Some may work for you, while others won't. The goal is for you to take practical steps on this journey of life. Be aware of the actions you take. The world around you will enjoy being around you.
Food and nutrition. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "A person is what he or she thinks about all day long." That may seem simple, yet our words create our life. It is also the foundation of our nutrition. Most Americans, quite frankly, have a horrible diet. They have microwave food, drink tons of soda, and junk food. They do this year after year, never thinking or caring about the consequences of their actions. This is normal American life. I started to live a preventative lifestyle early on in life. My belief was, this is the only body you get. You might as well take care of it. Yoga and the three gunas, sequencing for sattva, In yoga and Ayurvedic, there are three gunas or qualities: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Tamas is associated with feelings of lethargy, heaviness, and inertia. If you wake up groggy and tired in the morning, it's usually a sign that tamas is dominating after a long night of inactivity. Rajas can be described as feelings of excitement, being energized and full of activity, but also often a certain degree of restlessness and mental agitation. Sattva is the third quality, and it corresponds to feeling expansiveness, joyfulness, lightness, and being the witness to your life. There is a feeling of being the observer and full of joy for no particular reason, all at the same time. The original intentions of yoga, according to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, was to enhance the quality of sattva, a calm yet alert state of mind. If the student goes into sattva daily over many weeks and months, the transformation of his or her life happens naturally. The student begins to carry that sattva into his or her life. What is a rajasic, tamasic, and sattvic diet? A rajasic diet is one that is overly spicy or hot, including food with onions and garlic, coffee, fizzy soft drinks, tea, sugary foods, and too much chocolate. These foods may give up a lift in energy, but ultimately we experience low or increased stress. A predominantly rajasic diet destroys the mind-body equilibrium, feeding the body at the expense of the mind. A rajasic person will eat on the run, rush food, and experience poor digestion and health as a result. If your children were to eat only these foods, you would be quickly looking to change their diet. A tamasic diet consists of dead foods such as meat, fish, poultry, eggs, stale food, processed food, full of chemical additives, takeaway fast foods, reheated foods, alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs in addition. A sattvic food can become tamasic when processed, old, or fried. These foods and substances do nothing to lift our energy and consciousness. In fact, they pull us downward into laziness and inertia. Living on tamasic food and substances will lead to complaints such as obesity, diabetes, heart and liver disease. We will feel unmotivated by careless, unaware of ourselves and others. A sattvic diet is pure vegetarian nourishment and includes fresh fruit and vegetables, fruit and vegetable juices, wholemeal bread, pulses, grains, and sprouts, nuts, seeds, honey, herbs, milk, and dairy products which are free of animal rennet. These foods will raise our consciousness, inspire us to positive action, deeper meditation, and unleash our hidden potential and creativity. Sattvic food is cooked with love and eaten with full awareness and gratitude. Yogis are vegetarian for several reasons. Apart from the health aspect, the main reason being the principle that all living beings are myself. Therefore, all creatures need to be treated with respect and love. In today's fast world, I would drop fast food, sodas, junk foods, box foods, and limit your alcohol. Don't be a fanatic. Start to listen to your body. It will talk to you slowly over time.
Remember, the food that you eat transforms you into their body. Make your changes slowly. Don't rush, or your mind and body will revolt. This is very delicate. What works for one person doesn't work for all. What is good for you may be poison for someone else. For example, the Sutras diet has milk and dairy products. Many people are allergic to both of these foods. The goal is to eat fresh, organic food if you can. Don't eat GMO foods. Slowly drop all junk foods. Try to cook your food. When I was in India, the Indians in general had a whole different idea on the style of cooking. Their concept was to cook a meal for the Lord. Imagine all the care, love, and kindness you would put into the food. Cooking would become an art and devotion. This food would then be presented, blessed, and served to your family and friends. I love that idea. Fast forward to the present, we have cooking shows like Chopped, where they have 20 minutes to cook a dish. They hurry around in the kitchen and slap together a dish to be judged by it. The audience, including myself, is entertained by that. Yet, are they conscious? All their frustrations about time, the rushing around, competition between competitors, and the anger that goes into the food. How about fast food restaurants like Burger King? This is a profit-driven company. Do they cook with the concept of cooking the meal for the Lord? You can answer that question yourself. In summary, start to take responsibility for your mind, body, and soul. Your body and mind will love it. We're learning to fine-tune the guitar of life.
Mentors. We are all shaped by our society. No man is an island. We all learn from each other. These are the teachers who helped shape my life for the better. Joan Condon. Mrs. Condon was my English teacher. She had a sparkle for life. I remember one day a student played on a record player all over the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. She led a beautiful discussion on the lyrics, which I still remember today. She was innovative in her teaching style. It was fun and entertaining to go to her class. Betty Topalian. Mrs. Topalian was my poetry teacher in my senior year. She taught me the love of poetry. I remember one day we had an assignment to read a poem. I found a spiritual poem and read it to the class. She asked me what it means, and I said it was self-explanatory. To be honest, I had no clue. She knew that and was kind enough not to go further. She inspired me to look at ways that are different in society. There is a world where words come from, will come up to the surface to be a creative force for mankind. She helped me to dive deep to discover the pearls of life. Bob Wentz. What can I say about Bob Wentz? He was a figurehead in Newport Harbor for many years. He was my speech teacher. He thought outside of the box. Nick Roth and I had to give a speech together. We asked Mr. Wentz if we could do a talk on surfing at the beach. He said yes. He somehow managed to arrange a bus to take students to Newport Pier where Nick and I did a surfing demonstration and a talk on surfing. He really cared about his students and would do things out of the ordinary. Julia Smart. Julia was my culinary arts teacher. Wow, what can I say? She taught me by following a recipe, you can make anything you want. This opened me up to the world of cooking. I never took two and two together. Since then, my passion for ethnic food has skyrocketed. It has opened up many new doors. My cooking partner was Scott Adams, a neighbor for many years. We had a lot of fun cooking together. I still remember the good times. Jim Hemsley. Mr. Hemsley was a surfer and teacher at a high school. I remember surfing at Huntington Pier one day, and I saw Mr. Hemsley swimming to shore. It was quite a big day. I said, "Hi, Mr. Hemsley. Do you need any help?" He said, "Yes." So we slowly paddled to shore in my longboard. We made it to shore, and then I paddled out again. The waves were quite good that day. About 6 months later, my mom bumps into Mr. Hemsley and said, "Your son saved my life. Without him, I would have drowned." I nonchalantly didn't think anything at the time. My wife and I love to go to Barnes & Noble. We love to relax in our comfy chairs and look at books and magazines. My wife likes to look at the Sedona Journal. She keeps telling me about Cryon, who's channeled by Lee Carroll. She probably told me around 5 times, and finally I said, "Okay, I'll take a look." At first I wasn't impressed. He would always start by a standard greeting. "Greetings, dear one. I am Cryon of Magnetic Service." I was thrown a curveball because I really didn't understand this concept. The more I read the channel material, the more I understood this incredible message. Imagine all the past great masters unifying themselves into the magnetic grid of this planet. You might say, so what? Imagine so many great masters said they would be returning back to Earth and help human beings to realize their true nature. The more I heard and listened with an open heart, I realized this was indeed true. Can you imagine that this magnetic grid is built with the love of God? If we didn't have a magnetic grid surrounding the human being, the Earth, human beings would no longer be alive. This is the problem of space travel. They need to simulate the magnetics of the Earth. We have this incredible DNA. Scientists have broken the code and said that 93% of our DNA is junk DNA. Cryon has said it's not junk DNA, but multidimensional DNA. This is a huge difference. Cryon has written a book called The 12 Layers of DNA. I highly suggest that you read this book. Your life will change if you do. Magnetics from our DNA and the magnetics from Gaia, Mother Earth, are in communication with one another. I know this sounds incredible, but it's true. This is a small part of the story. Cryon's main message is that you don't need any teacher or guru to find your way home. All the tools exist inside of you. All of humanity believes in a higher self, yet we go on a merry way without even trying to connect to it. Imagine this higher self is multidimensional. What does that mean? You are the sun, the moon, and the stars. You are the universe. You are God. Because you are linear, you say, "I'm George," or "I'm Barbara." Who are you really? That is the puzzle of life. On the other side is the multidimensional energy, or cosmic soup, which contains all. Can you take salt out of a soup? You can't. We have the higher self inside of us, and yet we think we are alone. We are never alone. Because of free choice, we have closed the door and continue to search for God outside of ourselves. This is the incredible game that God set up. We are the ones with our intent that requests to open the door to our higher selves and discover who we truly are. Imagine the entire universe is supporting us, but can't say or do anything until we consciously give intent and begin this process of self-discovery. What's beautiful about this process is how peace on earth will happen. By changing yourself and by discovering yourself, you will truly radiate love, tolerance, and compassion to all.
Closing. Well, we reached the end of this book. It's only a scratch from the surface. I only talked about the high-level branches of the trees. There are many other books out there that go into more detail on the specifics. I wrote this book to see where my practices lie on the tree of life. I was happy to see that my entire practice corresponded to all the branches on the tree. To be honest, that was a sigh of relief. Go slow on this journey. Have fun. The more fun you have, the easier it gets. Be like an open child. Be kind to everyone you meet. Don't fight, especially flame others on social media. The secrets of the universe are shown to those who are humble and meek. Your ego will not take you far on this journey. My advice is to drop it. It doesn't serve you in any way. A huge boulder lies on your shoulder. Simply let it go. Follow the advice from each of the branches. This is meant to be a practical experience. This is not a theory or philosophy. This is a blueprint of discovering your true nature in each moment of your life. This isn't designed for only the Far East, but the entire world. Have an incredible journey. Remember, you are the universe. You just don't know it.